Hey everybody, and welcome to part 3. In part 2 of this series, we learned how to chop down our trees and gather plants from the ground. Now we just need a place to put them all. So that means I'm going to make a stockpile. Stockpile menu is P, and I'm going to press W to make it a wood stockpile. I'm going to choose an area right outside the fortress, right there, and then the dwarves are going to start moving all of that wood. We're also going to make a spot to put our food, which I'm going to place right in here. I'm actually going to extend this room as well, so we have even more room to store our stuff. So I'm going to do that, and then place our stockpile. All right, we've dug out a larger area for our food and farm room, and I'm also going to dig out this room where we're going to put the beds, because I love symmetry. As you can see here, though, we've got a bunch of dwarves sleeping in the food stockpiles, so that's not going to do. We need to build some furniture for them. So I'm going to press B to bring up the build menu, then I'm going to press W to bring up the workshops submenu. Now I'm going to press C to get a carpenter's workshop. I'm going to make that out of cherry wood logs, so just press Enter to choose your materials, and now I'm going to escape out of there. After a couple of seconds, a dwarf will come by and build that workshop, and now it's right here and it's finished. I need to get beds made quickly, so I'm going to press Q to query the workshop. I've moved the cursor over that. God, these guys are just dropping and sleeping anywhere. So I've queried the workshop. Now I'm going to press A to add a task to the workshop. Then B, I need to make 7 beds. Okay, so I've pressed A and then B. A adds a new task, B chooses the bed. I'm going to press escape, and then somebody is going to come by and make these beds. All right, while those beds are being made, I want to check the status of our fort. So, things like how much materials we have. In this case, I want to know particularly about food. So I'm going to press the Z button or the Z button to bring up the status screen. And, okay, my eye immediately goes down to here, our food stores, and the food that we have is about 100? It has a question mark because it's not an exact value. I see we have about 50 drinks. The reason why these numbers are not exact is because we haven't assigned a bookkeeper yet out of our dwarves. We will do that in a later video. But right now, I know I'm okay on drinks, but I'm going to have to make more soon. So, making more drinks is a matter of building a still with the build menu and the workshop submenu, and pressing L to make a still. Pressing Enter where I want to place it, and then choosing whatever material. I'm just going to choose the materials that we cut down, and then pressing Escape to get out. Let's place down those beds we just made and give our dwarves somewhere to sleep. With the build menu, I'm going to press B. And then I'm going to press B again. I'm going to place a bed down here in this corner. Oh, we're not done making all the beds. I didn't mention that I actually added 2 more stockpiles outside. These are 2 different stockpiles. Here we've got the corpse stockpile. If something dies, then if it dies inside of our fortress, that's bad. So I would like them to take it outside immediately. Without a stockpile for the corpses, the dwarves will just leave it inside their fort if it dies in there, and then it creates a miasma, makes everybody very unhappy. I've also made a refuse stockpile where they can bring things like, what do we have here? Rat remains. In our food stockpile, we tend to get rats. The cats take care of them, and then a dwarf will take the dead rat body outside. All right, and more rat remains. Cats are great to have. They're autonomous, they don't require any upkeep at all, and they will do things like take care of pests. Okay, so I have my 7 beds set up in this large room. I want to make them into a dormitory, so all of the dwarves will use them. So I'm going to press Q to query a bed, and I'm going to press R to make a bedroom. It's asking me to resize the room. This is the bedroom area that I'm creating. I'm pressing the plus button to make it the size of the entire room. I'm going to press Enter. Now I want to make it into a dormitory. This is an area where all of the dwarves will just come in and flop down when they're tired. It's good for a start. Later on, you'll want to make proper bedrooms for each dwarf. So I'm going to press Escape, and now that is a dormitory for all of our dwarves to go and sleep in. All right, as we're getting into a flow of life in this fortress, I want to start digging downwards a bit more because we're going to need 2 things. We're going to need a large stockpile room where we can store the rest of our stuff here that's being held at the wagon. And we're also going to want a meeting hall. This is essentially just a tavern room where all the dwarves hang out and drink. So I'm going to go down 1 level. And what is this material here? Mica. I don't really want to make anything out of mica. Phyllite, fine for me. This is going to be a large room. You can make this in any design that you want. This is just the one that I do. It's large and no nonsense. I've sent off my dwarves on another plant gathering mission, and my 2 miners are down below. They're digging out more rooms. This is a big stockpile room. And of course it has clay loam, which is also good for planting. We don't need that now. And then I've gone down to a layer of granite, and I'm going to cut out this size of room, or about, again, whatever design you want. So this is going to be our meeting hall. This is going to be filled with tables and chairs, and this is where the dwarves are going to spend their time. However, making the meeting hall and starting to brew some drinks is what we're going to do in the next video. I hope this video was short and clear. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching.